Mirasee.
I'm Amy Robeson, and you're listening to Making It. I run a business called Amy Robeson, and my mission on earth is to assist people in having a self-discovery so that they can live their best life in the here and now. So I have a really good memory of my childhood. I really loved going to school. I loved learning. School equaled freedom for me. I didn't grow up in a great household. And so for me, going to school meant an opportunity to experience different cultures and different lifestyle, and also to find my own voice and to be my own person without having very strict rules, because I could be myself and act like myself at school without being punished or reprimanded in any way, shape, or form from my parents if I was acting out in a way that they didn't find appropriate. My older sister and I were latchkey kids. And so what that meant is my parents left us home before school and after school and all of summer. And so my older sister and I, we would cook these elaborate chocolate chip cookies, or we'd go and hang out with friends, or we'd walk miles and miles to a store that we shouldn't be going to, but we would go and do that anyways, because my parents wouldn't know what we were doing. And so we never got into major trouble, but we always had a lot of fun just going and exploring and just being adventurous, going down to the park, to the creek, and playing outside. Growing up in school, I loved math. I was very, very good at math. My mom taught me how to add and subtract when I was 2. And so that was one of the subjects that I really excelled in. I had a harder time with reading and science, just because my mom, she didn't teach herself how to read until she was 17. And she had to go back to school and get her GED with 3 kids at 21. And so that was something that she struggled with, which I also struggled with, but I absolutely loved math. And I was very, very, very good at it. In high school, we got to take a program that was called DECA, and it was a marketing program that taught you how to market a business and entrepreneurship as well. And that is what really was the catalyst in me wanting to start and own my own business, which was really fun because you'd go to these competitions and come up with these pitches that you'd have to do in front of judges as well. After I finished high school, I ended up going to college, the oldest college in Wisconsin I went to. It was called Carroll College at the time, but now it's called Carroll University. And I majored in business and marketing. And I went for the first 2 years, did really well. However, at the time, I worked full time. I had 3 part-time jobs and I went to school full time. So I had a lot on my plate. And so my junior year, it just wasn't for me. I wasn't in it. I didn't want to go to school anymore. It was really, really hard. And so I decided to take a break. And one of my friends suggested I go on an interview. And this was when I really started what I call my big girl career. He told me, hey, go to this interview. And I had no clue what I was interviewing for. I've had previous jobs in sales, and he's like, just go to the interview, you'll do great. And I got to the interview, and there's 2 gentlemen there at Starbucks, and they're like, just so you know, this isn't an effing interview. And I'm like, keep in mind, I'm 21 years old and have no clue what I'm there for. So I'm like, oh, okay. And he throws a pen at me and says, sell me this effing pen. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm selling him the pen. He looks at this other guy and he goes, how did she do? And he goes, give her a 6 out of 10. He goes, wow, that's really good. He normally only gives 3s. And he goes, all right, let's get up and go. I'm like, where are we going? He's like, you're going to go interview with the VP of the Boucher Group, which is a very large car dealership group. And what I was interviewing for at the time was a finance manager job. And that right there was one of the best career moves of my life, because it really taught me, one, not only how to sell, but also how to build rapport in a really quick manner and care about what you're selling and what you're doing and how you can help people. And so I ended up being in that career for about 10 years. And while doing that, I decided to go back to school so I could finish my degree as well. Getting started in my coaching business was a lot of fun and a lot of fear all at the same time. fear of the unknown can be very uncomfortable. And I didn't know what it would look like or how it would be. I was willing to make only 1/3 of what I was making in the car business in my previous career. And it wasn't until I actually started to just offer my services that I realized that everything that I did previous to that was leading up to this moment, and that I didn't have to sell myself short. It wasn't until I got my first client where I'm like, oh, this won't take me long at all to figure out how to navigate and how to do it. I've been selling packages for the last 10 years, and I had confidence in myself in the delivery of what I was going to be able to offer, which was really nice. And so how I started to get leads was through opt-ins online. And so I would have lead magnets. And my first lead magnet was an offer for a free 20-minute Akashic record reading, which is one of the services that I offer. I teach people how to open up their Akashic records and how to open up their Akashic records for other people. And I got into the feeling of this is going to be a success no matter what it is that I'm going to do. And I'm a big believer, if you don't believe that it's going to be a success, it's not going to be a success. And so the first true lead magnet that I made was that free 20-minute reading where they had to put their email in to get the reading, and they filled out the survey and I made this really beautiful booklet. And I ended up having 240 people sign up in less than 24 hours. And I had to shut down the link because I couldn't take that many people. Everything that we hope, desire, and wish to have is within our capabilities. It's within ourselves, and we have all the answers within. And when we lean into community and to support, we can fold time. And we can have heaven on earth in this lifetime if we're willing to do the work. And so I want my legacy to be that you can have a self-discovery at any moment in time in your life, and you can change your trajectory of your life at any moment in time. And so the legacy I wish to have is that you can be exactly what you want to be, and you can make those changes at any moment in time, and that there's spaces and communities that can help you do that. To me, making it means that there's a sense of fulfillment in all areas of your life. And I've been talking a lot about business, but making it for me, why I wanted to switch careers and why I wanted to have my own business was so I could work on myself spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. I can take time off, I can spend time with my family, and I can really have a balanced life. So making it means I'm balanced, I'm happy, I feel fulfilled, and I'm excited about not only the present, but the future as well. So one thing I often love sharing with people is that you're not just one being, you're a multidimensional being living a human experience. And what that means is there are many aspects of you that you get to decide to be in relationship with. And by befriending those different aspects of your being, you get to have a different outcome, not only in your business, but in all areas of your life. I'm Amy Robeson, and you've been listening to Making It. You can find me at theamyrobeson.com. I have a podcast called Awakening with Amy Robeson. You'll also find that at my website, again, theamyrobeson.com. Thank you for listening.
Making It is part of the Mirasee FM podcast network, which also includes such shows as Course Lab and Once Upon a Business. This episode of Making It was produced by Danny Bermant and Geoff Govertsen. Cynthia Lamb is supervising producer. Danny Eni, that's me, is executive producer. Post-production by Post Office Sound. To catch the great episodes that are coming up on Making It, please give us a follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening right now. And if you like the show, please leave us a starred review. It's the best way to help us get these ideas to more people. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.